Hi, Internet viewers. This is Frank Rauscher again. Doing the final wrap-up of the Q&A on wood burning. So bear with me. I will show you that, and that should be the end of the Q&A for a while. And then I'm going to start in on doing the Carolina Wren. So I hope you enjoyed what you're seeing. And one other thing I don't think I mentioned, the pens that I was using, the wood burning pens, are Optima pens that I prefer. And there are other ones out there, and a lot of them will do the job too. So don't think you're locked into any one. But if you're looking for some recommendations that I'm giving, I go along with the Optima pen. So bear with me. I'm going to move the camera down, and we will complete the wood burning session. Okay? Bye. So I'm coming down through here. Now, the other thing I've done is I've put these lines in here, and what we had on that bird I showed you here, we're going to do this technique in some spots. So what I would do, and it's more showy, the spear-shaped pen really gives you that on a three-dimensional. And when you have it really shaped, this will really do it nicely. On a two-dimensional, this will do fine. And what I mean by that is you're going to come off of this, and these are just lines just coming across here, and I'll try to keep them in tight. And it radiates out. I'm a little high on the temperature, so I'll kick back on that. And you're using the tip, but the spear-shaped pen would even work well on this too, because you can get that tip in there, and you can keep, you got to pivot all the time. You're rotating it, and that's how I would do that. Now you do have a straight line that came across right here, and that's there, just like the eye. And there's a couple ways of approaching it. I'm going to switch out now, and I'm going to try to show you some other tricks with the shader. Now, the shader, because it has more surface area and not like the knife blade type, I'm going to show you over here some of the things I talk about. See how when I touch this wood, look how hot. I have a hot tip. I'm up around 7 or 8 on my machine here. And you could see this is almost glowing. I don't know if it's shown on the camera here, but as soon as I touch it, wow, it just burns. So this is what they call the shader. Now, watch this. I'll get this. That's as hot as can be right now, but watch. I'll just go slower and slower. I can get a tan color if I need to tan something up and make it really soft. And I want to get darker, I just lean in a little bit more and then move it out. So you can play with this. And the other nice thing is too, you can use the point, and you can stipple things as well without using the ball pen. Okay, and you can see that gets red. I don't know how it is showing on the camera here, but this is really hot right now. So I'm going to show you a trick I do besides the bird here. Say I'm doing some wood, and I want to, here's like a branch, okay, and I want to show you how to let me just cut this back just a hair. I would have a sacrificial piece like this here on a corner, and I'll touch that to get the heat off. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit that edge and I'm going to follow that up, and you can do some shading. If you ever did any painting or drawing, and you know, usually one side has it shaded. Now I could turn this around and I could do the other side, and maybe I don't want to go into it as far, so I'll just keep it tighter and just hit that. But notice I'm spiraling in, so you can make things look woody and shadow things as well, just by going down. And you don't have to be so perfect, because you know wood isn't, it's kind of rough, the branches and stuff like that. So you can get a look like that. And then if you know how they have like little spots in them or something like that, you can come in and add things to that too. And that's another way of doing it. If you have like grasses, like say we have tall grasses coming up like this, and you know, if you want to do it quick without switching pens, you can come right on up and create grasses like this using that point. And then you know how they have little buds at the top, stuff like that. You can do stuff like that, or you can get leaves in there, and then just have something growing on the ends or stuff like that. And if need be, you can come right back over it and make it heavier and make a wider leaf and stuff like that. This is doing that, just natural grasses and things like that, which I've done in some of my landscapes that I showed before. Now, what I want to show you too, in the owl, there's a dark area in here. Okay, so we could touch that, and here's the trick with this pen. I can put that down and get a real deep burn, but watch. If I keep moving it and I keep in one spot, look how it's hardly doing anything, even though it's as hot as can be. So I'm going to move this right over to here, and I'm going to come in and leave a little reflection in there. And that's how I get the eye in. Now, if you have a sacrificial piece and not the one I'm working on here, you can come in just to control it and stuff like that, okay? But when you're doing like birds like this on a flat, or furry animals, like here's another one I'm doing, and this is a wolf, and I outlined some of it on here. And then what I'll do is I'll take this off and I'll see how the fur is laying, because it's showing me pretty good how it goes. And I'm going to come back and extend a little bit with my pencil to get the direction of the flow that's occurring here with the fur. And it's important, like this fur's coming out this way and up here. Here, let me take this off, and I'm going to try to lay this down alongside. And this spirals this way, and it's coming down. And if you want to go lighter with the pencil, you can see it's a little bit dark in here, so you can do a light burn in here. And then as you come around, you have a right under the nose here, there's a split. This here could actually be a line burning, same way with the nose. And then you can darken it in with the shader. And you also have this directional flow, which is right in here. And you want to try to capture that, and that'll give you a look like it's rounding over. If you get the right flow of the fur, you just don't want to throw any line in there. Try to follow the lines, but where it's dark first, you may want to go back over it with a pencil. And then the pencil tells you that you don't have to think as much when you come in with the burning unit. You know what I mean? You could just get that pen and just go at it. You know what I mean? As far as you can, where it's dark, you can linger a little bit. Where it's lighter, you can go faster. And like I said, when you go faster, it's doesn't burn as dark. And then you could find what you like the best. Now here, I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you with, this is the ball, okay? And I turned the temperature up a little bit more on this because what I want to do is get it hotter, just like I do the shader. And what you can do, you can touch it. I can write my name. See what I'm doing here? I hope that's in my camera range. I'm sorry. I'll do it again. Here's me. So you can write your name with that. Now you'll see drawings that are made with dots, and like I did, I showed you this piece that I just played around with, and that was just freehand, most of it, okay? You could come in and you can shadow things or make things. You can actually come up with just dots if you wanted to just put a shape to something and you want to make it out of dots. You could do something like this, okay? Or if you want to make flowers, you know, where you and you can drag this too, so you can draw with this as well, okay? And it flows real nice, just almost like I have a pencil, but you can't linger because it's hot. So you got to practice it, and then if you wanted to put like stamen in there and stuff like that, or if you want to build up. And you could do this too with the other pen, that P12S that I was saying. And you could come up with all kinds of designs. And the same way with these little plants that are growing, where you want to put something growth in there. And then you play with the temperature range. That's the biggest thing. But you could create a lot of original wood. Like if you're doing a bird and it's on a branch, you can make the branch look like it pops out and it's there. You can put shadowing on one side to show you how wood is, where the shadow is on one side. You could come in, and I wouldn't use this too much on a flat art, but you can. It's sometimes you can stipple the whole drawing too, but that takes somebody that really has an idea where they're going with things. Some of the books I have and stuff like that, I'm going to show you some. There's drawings I have that give you line work for how the owl lays. You know, how you could do a lot of shadowing with just what you see here. You know, whatever's dark. And the biggest thing is to use the graphite paper. Take this down, get this underneath, and then use a ball pen to transfer it onto your piece of wood. And that's the ideal way. And there's other things too. Here's like a tree that has shadowing in it, and if you ever wanted to try something like that, you know, and that could be a scene. You could have a farm out here in the distance, and you got some split rail fence in here. You could do all this here. Here's another, if you like horses, and this doesn't have to be as dark. You can put it on your printer, you can reduce it or make it bigger. and it gives you where the shadow areas are. And you could do this with a lot of things. You even do it a photograph where you make a black and white, and I've done one of my grandson, but that is, you have to have a lot of patience, and it's a timing thing. I wouldn't start out by trying to do a portrait, but you can do some really neat things, and things like something small like this would be ideal to try to get into. And but basically the techniques I'm using here is the shader, the ball for signature work that I do on the underneath side, but I also, you can do it for stippling. There's a lot of things you can do. You can play around like I did here. Here's the shader, and that's how tight I can get. When you're using the shader, you can get this and just use the tip. You can almost stipple with the shader too. That's another thing, but everything has its purpose, I always say, with the burning tips, and these are available if anybody needs them. I have them, but if, just to show you, let's see, I think I'm at a temperature I can do something here, and I hope you guys can see this. So I can stipple with this, or I could come in and I'll take some of the heat off and then come in and just shade it. See? It's not a real dark burn. And then if I want to expand on it, I can come out and shadow that. See that? Have it dark on one side. And it's just a matter of playing around with it and what it can do. And you can, you don't want to put your finger in it, that's for sure. But you could see, you can really get going with this. I mean, I showed you a lot of sampling of things I've done before, but these are sort of the tricks I do. And one of the things I want to show you too, before I call it a day here, I'm going back to my rusty trusty one I like a lot, and I'm going to get this back to my normal temperature. For those on birds, you'll see me, and that's this area right in here and in the mantle. I'm going to do this on flat so maybe you can see it a little bit better, and I'll start with a small C and then piggyback it, make it longer and longer and longer. Then I'll put another row in just to make it seem like we have a head here. And then I get smaller as I go down. And I'm not making the best C's going here, but what I do, and again, let me go back to, I'm going to go in. Now this is the spear-shaped pen, okay? Now, the leading edge of this feather, and this is what I mean by leading edge, I always say this, and people, I'm going to take the largest feather here. There's one of them right here, this one feather right here. This is the leading edge. It's butting up to the one in front of it. And I'm going to burn deep on this leading edge and fan out to the left and to the right. So follow me here. I'm going to go in and pull, in and pull. And the way I'm doing it is I've textured even further out. Let me just lower that temperature just a hair more. And I'm going to do the one behind it now. So it allows me to press in and pull out, but I'm also, see, everybody wants to come straight back. I'm fanning a little bit, very slightly, but I'm fanning this. So it's going out, and I'm going to keep on doing this. And you can drag it too. You can make this darker, like some birds have a longer tail on their markings, and then it thins out as it comes back up. And you can do that too and get darker all along there. And what this does, right along that leading edge, it pushes the feathers down. So this head on here, it's as smooth as can be. I haven't lifted it. I just gave it that texture. And what it does, it relieves that point right in the front here, that dark burn, and it pushes it down. So it looks like you undercut it with a knife or a bit or something like that. So you can come in, and if you wanted to go deep, you can push down as long as you're fanning around, okay? And it textures the rest of it, but it gives it a lighter burn. And if you need the center to be drug out a little bit more, you can put some texturing in the center. You can make feathers that have markings that look more pointy in the center, okay, like that. Okay. And then I'll do some out here. See, you're really going around the feather in front of you, like that. And then if you didn't get the whole feather, then just come back with some quick marks in the same direction the way you were burning and fanned out, and that'll mark the rest of it out without having a dark burn. So hope you got something out of this here and give you ideas. And from the drawings and the wood burnings I did before, you have some ideas, and you can see it readily in here. All this is just line work that I took time, and I put some pencil lines in, and you can almost see some of the pencil lines still in there. And I follow those pencil lines, and that guides me into things. Now, like I said, this is a light burn compared to here. This isn't the same item. This is a bobcat. But I could go in and intensify that. I can make this cat look really mean by putting a lot more shadowing in the eye and recess it back. This will look neat, darker as you go. And if you ever, I don't know, let's see if I have one here. I don't know if it's, this was one of my business cards. I had it reduced down, and this is really light. I don't know how available. This is the C, but there's my logo, this one here, right in here. And it's really small, and you can really punch it up. This is really light. When they brought this down, they didn't make it as dark as the printing, but I've had some that were darker than that. So just to give you an idea. So I hope you got something out of it. If you did, I wish you to give me a thumbs up, and if you could subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate that too, and hope that you got something out of it again. And I will be starting on the wren. So see you on the next video, and hang in there.